Hey everyone, welcome back to 3D6 Down the Line, the most criminally underwashed actual play series on the internet. This is episode 19 of our Mothership Sci-Fi Horror RPG campaign running through the Gradient Descent module. My name is John, I'm your warden for the evening, and tonight we have...
Right, I'm Mike Morrison playing Rick Sharp, the Marine. Suddenly I'm Australian. It's terrible.
It all works. It all works.
Yeah.
Hi, everybody. I'm Matt. I play Fool Sadu, scientist.
Hi, everybody. I'm Ted, and the deep hasn't gotten to me yet, so I'm going to continue to play Delphon Hubble, Marine.
Nice. Okay. David would normally be playing David, the android, but he is dead to us tonight. Ted is playing from a remote location, so has a little bit of a shaky connection. So just expect it might be a little bit of drop in, drop out as far as his audio goes, but we'll work with it. Okay. Caller for the night will be none other than Matthew. The date and time, we actually get to advance quite far forward because we took shore leave last time. So it is actually the 21st of January 21-25, and you guys can determine what time of day you want it to be since we're sort of picking up after all that downtime activity. So we'll leave that open-ended. No need for a Ben's check at the top of the session because you guys are aboard the Bell, not the Deep. So we don't have to do that. But can I get a stress count from everyone real quick?
Sure. Mike, why don't you go first?
I'm at 4.
Okay.
Ted?
I seem to have 5 stress, which I think is correct.
And I also have 5 stress.
Very good. Okay. So last time they had, at the top of the session, this was 9 days ago, they had helped Hubble get out of a dangerous situation where Hubble was bleeding out due to a security android attack down in the loading bay at the Deep. Near the remnants of the Steve boarding skiff, Hubble basically saved himself while the rest of the team killed the security androids and then went and patched Hubble up. And then you returned with Ghost Eater via spacewalk back to the Bell, and you really were screwed up. You guys had all had wounds. You guys still have wounds. The 3 of you are... No. Sharp doesn't have a wound.
I am wounded.
Yeah, Thulsa, Hubble, and David all have wounds, still have wounds, but you managed to heal up your health points and reduced all your stress, and you got some fun downtime activities done. So Thulsa attached a comms unit to the to Leica, attempted to detach the spinneret from the Hunter, but that didn't go as planned. But he can try again. And then Sharp took the other cool part of the Hunter, which were the scythe blades, and attached them to his Mad Maxed out standard battle dress. And that's sort of where we left it. So what we did with the blades, though, is we didn't come up with like a mechanic for it. So this is what I basically have come up with, Mike, so you're aware. Okay. They can be extended without an action. So reflexive, like I said last session. And their stats are basically going to be the same as the boarding axe stats, which is in the front inner page of the PSG. So you're going to be each one, well, not each one. It's like you're basically attacking with them simultaneously. It's going to do 2d10 damage, and they do gore wounds, but they do gore with advantage. Okay. Downside, the downside is that you cannot wield anything in your hands while the blades are actually extracted. Extended. Okay. So you sort of like we said last session, you can choose between melee or range, but you can't do both. But speaking of,
it's also important. I think we should also point out that Mike can't hug anyone while they're out.
Very true.
Like there's no hugging.
Dang
no
it.
physical contact. Yeah, I know. I'm sorry, man.
Just violent.
I'm not much of a hugger anyway, Ted.
Okay, good.
One thing I wanted to point out when I saw that gore with advantage is that I don't think we were doing this because I know that there's a lot of smart rifle action about past couple sessions. Their wound damage thing is gunshot, but it's gunshot with advantage. And I don't ever remember having you guys roll with advantage on that. So just be aware that is the case with smart rifles only among the weapons that you have right now. I'm looking right now, yeah. Everything else, like your pulse rifle and submachine gun, those are all just regular gunshot. Okay, so just be aware.
Yeah. Smart rifles are sick, dude. They're really gross.
They're really, really nasty, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. It's kind of a Navy weapon, don't you think? I mean, it's like Marines like get in there. Damn, Marines like to get up close.
Okay.
Okay, and I think that's it. Oh, and so Sharp, mostly due to my error, but we'll just kind of roll with it story wise. Is like his desire to remain on the deep has passed away, so that weird desire has faded away. Your bends have all been reduced from the time that you've been away as well a little bit, and Thulsa, however, still has most of her hangups are still hanging around.
Yeah,
So
because they're cool.
that's right.
Still
So-
crazy.
How much
For
did our
all these
bends go down, John?
You guys rolled them. You rolled like a D5, I believe. At last session.
Right. Yeah, I rolled a 1. Yeah, okay. That's right. I remember now.
Okay, so that's where we're at. So it's 9 days later. So things by this point now have pretty much chilled out. Divers who wanted to go back to the deep have gone back to the deep since. A lot of the divers, though, have just were like, there's like, that was such a huge catastrophe. Like if Thelema and Monarch are going at it, I don't want to be anywhere near here. The possible riches are just not worth it. And so like a lot of them have just gone off world, like have left orbit and have gone to other places to go and seek their fortunes. So the Bell is basically at status quo now. So your typical, just your, Ghost Eater, Noriko, Arcady are there. Lucky Takahashi is still there, your captain. So it's basically back to square one. So what would you like to do?
I think we have a little bit of money left over. I think we have 2,400 credits left over after we took our shore leave. It would be smart if we got a couple of like patch kits, maybe for our vac suits. It seems like that's been a problem. Maybe another couple of first aid kits.
Yes.
Or at least one other, because I think we only have one in our whole group.
Those are both available, just 10 times the cost. So your patch kits come at three a piece for 2,000 credits. Three in a bundle for 2,000.
I think that's worth it though. I think. Do you agree, Hubble?
Well, I have a question for John. I found a patch kit in the airlock. Was that a 3-pack?
No, that was just a single one.
Or just a single one. Okay. In that case, yes. You should spend some money on some patch kits.
Okay. So
and how much is a first aid kit? Would that be 500?
750. So
Oh,
pretty cheap.
Okay.
Not if you only have 2,600 coins.
True.
Do we have any on our persons though? Let's see. I have 555 credits just in my theoretical pocket, in my credit pocket.
Good heavens, where'd you get all the money?
I don't know. It's on my sheet. It's been there. I don't spend it all.
I guess I have a few. Yeah, I've got some.
What do I need to buy things for? I've got most of the stuff that I need here with you guys, and what I don't need, I just forget about.
So if I spent some of my credits and you spent some of yours, we could get more than one first aid kit, maybe.
You could also break down that three pack of patch kits if you wanted to. Just divide the 2,000 by 3. If you wanted to get like one patch kit.
I mean, I'm thinking if each of us have one on us, that would be the
ideally. I'm just saying if you're
go.
looking to save some money, you could do that.
No, let's do it. So a patch kit's 2,000, and what was the health? It was 750.
750, and if we got 2 of those, that'd be 3,500. If you've got 500 and I've got 500, Matt, and plus our 2,600, we have 100 left over.
Okay,
and we could get 2 first aid kits and a patch kit with 3.
Arcady would be happy to take another black marble off you.
We don't need to do that. We're fine with our marbles. Thank you.
Okay, so you have enough to cover it?
Yeah, I will mark 500 credits off of her sheet. You'll do the same.
Actually, you only have to mark off 450.
Okay.
So I would say
Is that Elvis I hear?
Yes, I'm sorry. He's snoring away. He's had a rough day in this storm. Over the course of the 9 days, looking out the viewports of the Bell and observing the deep as it makes its slow rotation around Baphomet 3, you see that its orbit has deteriorated noticeably over the course of 9 days.
Uh-oh.
And
does not seem to be, it seems to be like a steady decline.
Yeah, it doesn't, it's very, very gradual, but over that amount of time, you can notice it. So if Monarch is making any attempts to repair it, you haven't noticed it. No divers has reported it. But something seems to be fatally wrong with the bell, with the deep.
Well, that was going to be my next question, John. Is anyone maybe more smart than us figured out exactly what the path is and how long it takes before the bell is like ripped asunder, or not the bell, before the deep is ripped asunder and like the gravitational pull of the planet?
I don't think there's anyone here who has that specific sort of knowledge, right? They would just sort of know that like things are about to go really bad. But the general feeling amongst like the NPCs is that Monarch is powerful enough to right this wrong. So people aren't that worried, but after this span of time, they're wondering, like, they're all looking at their watches, basically going like, why hasn't Monarch, what's going on? That sort of thing.
This suggests we might need to do a speed run for that disk thing we're looking for.
Let's see. Another thing, John, a couple more things before we start talking about going back over. One is I'd like to attach our multi-ball of cables and things that doubles the power of any device that's plugged into. Mm-hmm. I want to do that and plug it into the Android detector device that nominally, like on regular speed, on low gear, it only works on dead things, right? To tell if they're androids
infiltrators.
Or not.
It works on David just fine, but it doesn't work on infiltrators unless they're dead.
Right. And so what I'd like to do is I want to plug that into the detector, right? Or a detector, what do we call it? I keep forgetting the name of it. The scanner, the cybernetic diagnostic scanner.
CDS, yeah.
Right? Mm-hmm. Yeah. I want to plug it into that and scan the androids to try to get a sense of whether it could detect, when it's souped up like this, if it could detect an infiltrator, whereas normally it would not be able to.
So who are you scanning?
Anybody. Just see what happens.
Yeah, I'll scan Hubble first because he got out of my sight for a little while.
Okay, so yeah, the when you scan people that you assume are human, it doesn't read anything at all. If anything, it just kind of gives you like a negative beep, when you press the activator.
What happens when he scans David?
When he scans David, it scans exactly what the normal use for a cybernetic diagnostic scanner is, which is to look at androids and cybernetic organisms, and it looks for physical or mental issues that they may have. Right. So
I keep those, patient, client privilege. So,
so for David, you would get, it would register the broken collarbone for one thing. Right. And it would also register the fact that there is some sort of mutation to his logic core that has increased his empathy for humans. That is abnormal for his make and model. Now the difference though than what would normally do. This is what they're normally meant to do. Is just they're sort of like a bioscanner, but for androids, right? Is that it does it extremely fast, like wicked fast, like almost in like a split second. It kind of gives that readout where it normally would not have.
Well, yeah, normally it takes like a turn, right?
Or something like that. I'm just saying, like, because of your the attachment with the artifact, it ratchets up the speed at which it can compute that stuff. Yeah.
So not what it can do, but just faster. Yeah.
Correct.
But does it give like a confidence of its results kind of indicator or anything like that? Like, this detection is made with 110% accuracy or something.
That's a good question. I think it's pretty reliable. Like, I don't think it would be. I mean, I don't think it would give like a reading. It just says like it's this android is suffering from this, right?
Right.
Period.
So the processing power is really all going into speed rather than accuracy. Okay.
Right. Yeah. But the accuracy has
Okay.
always been known to be pretty top notch in these devices.
Right.
All right.
Okay.
All right. Okay.
Still, I think it's worth to try shooting it at an infiltrator and see what we get.
Yeah. I mean, if we ever find one, why not? So we'll have that with us. Let's see a couple other things. We attached these, at great personal cost, Hubble will agree. We attached cameras in both the Ackler at an angle that would let us kind of see inside, like if people were coming in, but would also like include like all the arms and, analyzey bits moving around.
For sure.
We also installed the one in the landing bay. Can we tell from our 9 days of watching this if our artifacts are finished being evaluated? Because we left the marble and we left the
floppy
disk.
Yeah. So you want the loading dock first? Or you want the Ackler first?
Let's do the Ackler first.
Ackler, I think. Yeah.
Okay. So the Ackler, assuming you've sort of been relatively monitoring it, every once in a while over the past 9 days, you watched it working furiously. You actually you had the marble first, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So about halfway through the downtime, it finishes work on the marble, places it back into its crib, and then it goes to the next bin over and takes out the floppy disk and takes that over and starts to scan it. So for a fact that the marble is done, and then you actually see near the end of your downtime, probably like a day before the end of your downtime, it returns the floppy disk to its thing, and then everything just goes real quiet. Lights are still on and everything, but yeah. Now remember, you're just looking at the Ackler, not the Acklor. So you're basing your knowledge on just the action of the limbs and stuff like that. But
Cool.
it's pretty definitive.
And did we see anybody go in that time?
No entry at all.
Okay.
And how's the loading dock look?
The loading dock, you saw this very soon after you returned to the bell. After you got comfortable.
I bet we did.
Yeah, is that a squad of 10 security androids enters from like the main airlock or whatever into the bay and position themselves around the Steve. They don't they go in, but they don't come out with anything. They just kind of do a sweep, and then they come out and they basically form a perimeter around the Steve, making sure that they're watching all exits at all times. Because they're security androids, they never get tired or anything like that. So they have just been standing there at attention with their guns, watching all exits, and they are still there at this very moment.
Oh, okay.
That's a lot of dudes.
Mm-hmm.
Let's not go that way. Although maybe Mike could bring his smart rifle, and that would.
Yeah, Mike can take them. Come on,
I've only got 7 shots left, so maybe not.
Out the port of the bell itself, just like viewing the deep from the bell. Like I told you about the deterioration of orbit, but the OARC cloud has not been messed with. Monarch does not seem to have any care for cleaning up the bodies outside or anything like that. And the blockade has not moved in any sort of weird way.
What about the Zhangxi? I'm sorry. What about the Zhangxi?
That's the blockade. That and its other sister.
Oh, it's part of it. Okay,
it's part of the blockade. Yeah.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Sorry, Ted. Go ahead.
Does Arcady or anybody else over here, for that matter, have like any kind of optical way of looking at the bell? Like, are there? I assume it rotates. So every few minutes we should see like the damaged thrusters go by.
The deep.
Have we got a way of on the deep, right? Have we got a way of looking at that and being, oh, look, there is a repair crew out there or anything like that?
Yeah, that's what's sort of making people a little bit nervous on the bell is that when you do look at the thrusters and the damage down there, you don't see active repair work going on, at least out in the void of space. You don't know what's going on inside. So you're seeing the orbit deteriorate. You're not seeing any action towards repair, and so because the bell's orbit is tied to the deep's orbit, everyone's just a little bit on edge. But this favor is still sort of, even though everyone's scared to death of Monarch, their faith is still more in Monarch. Like, oh, Monarch will fix it, But the first seeds of doubt, like, are we in trouble? Are starting to sort of start to filter into the bell,
Right, right.
We've
I
been
just
here
wasn't
for a
sure
couple of
if-
weeks, so yes.
I wasn't sure if that was the orbit hasn't been fixed. We're all nervous, or I've been looking and I can't see anyone repairing it. So that's why I wanted to ask.
Yeah. Both, basically.
Because that's
Maybe kind of both.
yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So we could spacewalk, I guess, and get our stuff, and then maybe come back and not use the loading dock.
That's what I was thinking. Like we'd spacewalk over, grab the things, and then spacewalk directly back, and then I guess go in through the first floor, like the main entryway again.
Yeah. So regarding a spacewalk, we've been there and back and there and back. I think that's it. So we've made the crossing 4 times. Is that enough times, John, to do it without Ghost Eater's help? Or do we still, are we still such noobs at this sort of distance that we would really have to have
That's a really
him
good
do it
question.
with us?
I think this, how about this? I would say that you have to have someone with 0G. So right now that's Sharp, right? Like Sharp must be with the team in order to guide anyone along. But yeah, I would think that's probably enough that you kind of know how to do it. But you need someone who's skilled in spacewalking.
Yeah.
Can I just make the argument, guys, that we can always have Arcady just fly us over to the regular place where we went in? You know?
That's what we're gonna. I mean, but
No, we
it's
wanna
a long
go
way
get-
from there to the Ackler.
Yeah, we want to go to the Ackler, get the tooth artifacts out, come back, and then have Arcady fly us to the loading, the visitor center.
But we're not getting into that loading dock.
No, I'm not going to the loading
Right.
dock. We're going to the Ackler. It's 20-minute walk away from the loading dock.
Yeah, Ackler's on level 4, and the loading dock is on level 6, near the bottom.
So, Mike, what we have been doing in the past is going to the Ackler and then walking to the loading dock. But this time, we're going to go to the Ackler, come straight back to the bell, and then get Arcady to drop us off back on first level.
Okay.
Okay, cool. So spacewalk to Ackler?
Yeah, unless Mike just wants to go by himself, like
I can do that.
You could do that if you wanted to.
we should all go. It'll be more fun.
Okay.
We should all go.
I mean,
it's super fun.
yeah, that's
Get some bands.
Risk the whole party. Why not?
Let's do
It
it.
freaks me out,
Okay.
but I don't like you going
Cool.
over there by yourself.
Let me
Okay. Big spacewalk. We'll all hold hands.
all right. Hold on.
Mhm. He's just going to roll some dice. Don't mind him.
Yeah, don't mind me.
Everything's fine.
Okay.
It's a wandering encounter with goblins. I know it.
So we can make this pretty short. You spacewalk over there. It takes about an hour. And the bodies in space have sort of dispersed to great distances,
bit.
right? Yeah. So they're very few and far between. Maybe you see them on the edge of sight, but I would say most of them have probably disappeared into the blackness of space. So you get out there. You get out there to the Ackler pretty easily. You open up the busted door. And we can just cut to the chase. I mean, there's nothing really a threat, so you can go and pick up your 2 artifacts. You're not going to drop anything else off, right? Because you don't have anything else. Right.
Correct. I do feel at some point, especially probably going over there, John, without the comfort of Ghost Eater, who's been like our trusted like badass to get us there. Nothing against you, Sharp. I feel like also owes at least like a fear roll.
That's
scary.
Why do we volunteer this stuff?
Because you know what? I'm scared. Going out into space like that is freaking scary. I don't know what's going on.
I
There
like
are
that you lean
dead
into it.
androids like flying all around.
It actually says in the book,
And-
it's like, like if players want to volunteer, let them do it. Go for it.
I don't know, man. I'll tell you what's. It's much scarier having to face down Gunny Henderson in basic training. That's way scarier than this deep space stuff. This is.
I will also be very scared. And okay, so her fear target is a 21, and she rolled a 34, so she failed.
Okay. So you take a
and-
stress, still getting that vertigo out there in space. Oh, and I should say, the moment you guys plant yourselves inside the Ackler, you're enveloped by that sweet deep, and so you're going to need to make me some bends checks, please.
Okay. And we're trying to roll over. Okay. So, Mike, you go first.
Okay. My Benz is an 18. I rolled a 52.
Okay.
All right. My Benz is a 4, and I rolled a 43.
Okay.
Okay. And Thulsa's is a 40. And she rolled a 47. Suck it, Benz.
Still doing it. All right, cool. So
Nice.
you're all pro divers now. So you grab your gear, hop back out with a pretty secure knowledge that you've got a nice printout waiting for you in the H.E.L, and you spacewalk back to the bell. Not a problem. Sharp takes you there with ease, and Sharp is delighted for the first time that he's like, I have no what's the word?
Compulsion.
Compulsion to
Compulsion.
stay. Yeah, compunction.
Oh,
right? Is
cool.
that the word I'm looking for? No compunction.
Could be,
Compulsion.
sure.
Yeah.
I mean,
Anyways,
it's both. Sure.
You would have a compunction about leaving, but a compulsion to stay.
right. I was going for compunction about leaving is what I was going for.
Yeah.
So yeah. Anyways, you don't have that anymore. So you're like, cool, the bell. Let's sweet. Okay,
That's awesome.
I'm happy to go there. And you go back. Ghost Eater is just sort of standing in a corner, dark, like Strider sitting at the end of the prancing pony, and he's just like just kind of gives you like a nod, like "Well done, Sharp," you know.
You too may eat ghosts one day.
Yes.
Okay, so you got your.
And
you
I
got
do
your,
feel I do feel a lot more confidence in Sharp's abilities now, though. He's got it. He got us there, safe. Got us back. I'm
That's
down.
true.
Granted, you really stepped up there, Sharp. It's not too bad.
Now is the
Ghosty-
time to push him into space.
Ghost Eater does give you a very knowing look that Arcady and Noriko like don't, or the divers, because he was able to sort of. I mean, he saw you walk out of the landing bay and start spacewalking. He noted how long it took you to get to come back from the deep. So he's like, I'm pretty sure that they probably have a couple of new things in their pockets, is what he's thinking. All right.
Oh no, total fail.
he
He
murders
saw us. He knew we were going over there for a reason. I mean, it's
Yeah, but I'm just saying, like, the fact that you have new artifacts is not lost on at least one NPC. Let's put it that way.
Yeah. I was
Okay.
thinking about that. So if Thulsa is now carrying the computer orb on the what is it called, a CDS? Maybe I should hold on to one of the other, rather than have all the artifacts on one person. We disperse it.
We should also leave them here. We don't have to carry them around with us.
We can't use them we need to take them with us because we're going to go next stop. We need to go to the H.E.L to find out what they do.
No, I understand that. But if something horrible happens between now and then, look, guys, all I'm saying is like literally in our other campaign, we've lost all of the money that we've ever gained due to stupidity and and player death. I mean, do we really want to carry all our eggs around, even in 2 baskets? John's already said that the stash here is totally safe.
No, but my point is that since we've none of these items will individually buy our way out of this problem, only one thing will actually do that. We might as well have them with us, because if those marbles turn out to be like Android freezing marbles, boop, no more problem. We should have them on us. You know, the disk drive, guess what? It contains the secret door locations of every room in the whole thing.
Sure.
Boy, that's pretty handy.
Or the key to getting the thing that we need, right? And if we go over there and find out that's what it is, then we'd have to come back to get it.
Oh, no. Imaginary time is wasted.
Yeah.
I see how it is.
So one point of clarification.
Absolutely go risk everything we've gained so far. Let's just go do that.
That sounds smart. That's wise.
I think it's good.
One point of clarification for the ultimate goal is that the item that the CEO wants, the disk drive, there was no value attached to it. It was just like, if you can find this thing, all debts are forgiven. So you don't know what the value of that is. So that doesn't necessarily mean that there aren't items, singular items perhaps, that are worth the 100 million.
Right. I assumed it was you can do this one thing or these 10 other things kind of thing. But yeah, I see.
It could be that as well, right? You could just build up a whole bunch of worthwhile artifacts. But yeah. Okay.
That'll never happen.
Going back now, you're going to take the Acheron to level 1, right?
I think so.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. So you commission Arcady and you go over there. Can you give me a time of day whenever you alight upon the top of the deep, just so I can start?
Let's say 10:30 a.m. 10:30. We started earlier than that.
Give
I don't know, man.
Give me a top
I
of the
did
hour.
recently get
at least
shot.
A nice fresh hour.
11 o'clock.
Okay, 11 o'clock. We'll do it.
11 a.m. Okay, got it. All right, that's where we're starting. And at 11 a.m., umbilical is attached. Your graffiti is still there. There's a few extra ones as well. No sign of anybody else. Arcady wishes you good luck, man. And back into the deep you go. But guess what? Another Ben's check. Yep.
Same order, Mike. Do it up.
30.
Okay.
All right. So I still have a Benz of 4, and I've just rolled a 15. Ooh.
Okay.
Ooh, cutting it close.
Good for you.
And against a Benz of 40. 41.
Oh, no, doesn't get much closer than that. Okay. Just barely. Okay, cool. So you managed to alight upon it without any adverse effects. But your paranoia immediately comes over you as you know that you're going into inhabited parts of the deeps, not just the shunted away Ackler. Okay, so you're there. What do you do?
Okay. Opening up our map so that we can see. First of all, so we have to traverse the visitor's dock and go into reception. Do we notice anything different, John, on our way in? Remember, we like scrawled little messages on the umbilical, and there was the one way out things up on the wall. I guess we spaced the body, but
yeah. So there's a few extra since then new graffiti, but nothing that's worthwhile.
Okay,
everything seems in order basically. Yeah.
Okay, cool. Do we hear anything? Like, is there active fighting nearby?
No, everything's quiet.
Okay.
So, John, I'd like to be, full battle readiness, smart rifle up, pulse rifle up. Mm-hmm. And I think if maybe, Mike, how do you feel like we do like the whole kind of, leapfrogging thing? We're just going to, but this way, the idea here being, we know the route. We know the danger points and the choke points and stuff. Can we progress rapidly to the Acklor rather than having to go through and explore every?
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Thing? Yeah.
I just wanted to know how. Yeah.
Just for clarity, John, I have my shotgun out, not my smart rifle.
Got it. Okay, cool. So,
all right, I am going to stash my vac suit because otherwise I'm going real slow.
I didn't even bring my vac suit. I'm wearing my standard battle dress.
Yeah, I've got battle dress on. I didn't bring a sack suit this time.
All right, so Thosa, where are you putting your vac? Did you want to wear your vac suit on board the Acheron? You could have left it in the Bell if you wanted to.
Still living in the Bell. I like having it nearby, just in case, right? Because we know that the deep has bhan damaged, mm-hmm. and there may be parts that are only accessible if we have the vac suit.
So on the way to the lift, Thulsa, there is the storage unit where you decided to stuff a person's body. but it would be a good place to put it.
There is. Yeah, there's that. Another good place, a place that I'm thinking, no, that's fine. We'll do the storage place. I was thinking maybe we could put it in the that escape pod that we kind of messed up to make it look like it wasn't working.
Sure.
Yep. Yeah, let's go there and put stuck it in there. It's just one more room over.
Curious to see what the campsite looks like after the kerfuffle.
See the campsites. Make sure that those escape pods are still there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Right?
Okay.
Yeah. I hate to run for those and discover they were all gone.
All right. So you go. I understand that you've got your awareness going on and everything with your guns out. You're not being sloppy, but you moved relatively quick. So you go down the concrete stairs, past the slagged security checkpoint, and past the rec center and the storage. You come to that T intersection hallway where if you just took a right, you'd be able to get to the lift that take you straight down. But you're going to take the other way, and you're going to go through the cubicle camp. Assume you take a breather before you walk in the door just to sort of listen. You don't hear any movement in there. When you enter in, it was already, the first time you were here many, many weeks ago, it was already sort of like a shit show, right? Like, it had been completely converted and it was like a diver sort of hangout and rest point. And that still seems to be the case. But now it's it's almost like a ghost. It's much more of a ghost town. There's signs of habitation, but it was from long ago, and it looks like people got up and got out of there like really quick. So there's a lot of goods that are scattered, a lot of campsites that are barely broken down, lots of trash and things like that. But there's a good deal of like crap around. So if you wanted to take the time, i.e. random checks, you might be able to find something valuable in there. Because you can immediately assess that like people left in a hurry, so they may have accidentally or willingly left valuable things there.
Yeah,
and patch kits or something.
Right.
I think that's a good thing. There are two things in particular that Thulsa's going to look for, John.
Mm-hmm.
One is
moisturizer.
No, I blanked. Moisturizer. Yeah. My skin hates these things. One is she wants to replace her Mylar blanket that she used as a space ghost in the loading dock. Mm-hmm. That was great. And also, she's looking for electronic components that she can use to fix that second cybernetic diagnostic scanner that we've had that's broken. Mm-hmm. Right now that she's seen a working one, she knows specifically what's missing, what's wrong from the broken one that we have.
Yeah.
And so she's going to look for, electronic components to try to fix that as well.
Okay. So tell me this, just tell me how many turns, as in 10-minute turns, do you want to actually spend here looking for valuable goods?
3. Let's give it a half hour. It's a big room, a lot of stuff.
Right.
Okay. I'll go with 3.
Okay. Don't mind me. No big deal. Okay. So Mylar and electronic components, you can definitely find. That's easy.
And the ammunition.
Okay, I just want to, the electronic components, the CDS is not artifact level technology, obviously, right? It's a thing that is mass produced and marketed and all that sort of stuff. However, it's very, very high tech. That doesn't daunt you, Thulsa. You're a pro at that sort of stuff, but the scrap you're finding is not the most ideal stuff, right? It's not like the exact right parts and all that kind of stuff, but you are very good at jury rigging stuff together. Your assessment is that it would take another shore leave. Like you have the components, but it would take shore leave amount of time to get, to dedicate to it and then possibly still fail, right? But you have the part. Well, I'm going to say you have the parts. Okay, we'll put it that way. And you have
that's fair.
You have as much Mylar as you want because a lot of people were using Mylar for warmth here, and they
don't even know.
They don't
even know. Those are so good.
Now,
I'm gonna grab a couple of those, John. If nobody's used them.
Okay, for ammo, yes, you do find some ammo. Oh, wrong thing. Shite. Hold on a second. Wrong book. Sorry. I'm going to roll some random stuff here. All right. You're going to find 3 of... You're going to find 3 pulse rifle rounds.
Go ahead, Ted.
Rounds or mags?
Mags, whatever, like 3, whatever things. Yeah.
Nice.
Okay.
Okay.
Now, in addition, those are the mundane things that you sort of, like, oh, sweet, like good, good equipment sort of stuff, right?
If I find a knife, I don't have a knife, which is crazy, but
you
I
can
would
get a
like
knife.
one.
That's fine.
Yeah. Okay.
I snap out one of my like ching things and I hold it up and I'm like, I've got a knife.
Nice. That's not a knife. This is a knife.
This is a knife.
All right, so you're rooting around like one cubicle camp that's sort of been moved around and to form like it looks to be like a single person's dwelling. You're getting the vibe that this person would probably like to be alone because it's very, very cramped. He maneuvered the desk around so like no one else could enter. There are some very like foreboding signs of like a skull and crossbones and do not enter, that sort of thing. Like very, very wanted to be alone sort of thing.
Like a teen boy's bedroom.
You right there, buddy? Ooh, hold
No
on.
girls allowed.
Yeah, no
Elvis.
girls allowed. Exactly. Yeah.
Oh,
Hey, Elvis.
Elvis is wearing a black and white striped shirt.
Yes.
He's
and
cold.
A little,
is adorable.
like a little French burglar.
Exactly. Yeah. It's Elvis the mime. So in that, of course, which immediately draws your attention. So you kind of go in there and you can see that the guy probably was living underneath the space of a desk, right? That's sort of like where he was living. Really nasty looking, soiled mattress thing, you know. And you're, but you've been kind of rooting through stuff like this to get the other stuff that I've already mentioned. But in this one, you find something underneath the mattress, underneath the pillow, and you pull it out. And it's in. What's creepy is that you find it you find it underneath a pillow, and you pull it out, and it's a tooth.
Ew.
Yeah, and so it's like a tooth fairy sort of thing. But let's see.
Human tooth?
Hold on. There's Hubble.
Yes, sir.
You're going to be you're the one that pulls that tooth out from underneath the pillow.
Hot damn.
When you pull out the tooth and you're like, oh, Jesus, that's freaking gross. And you look at it and then you feel with your tongue, your back molar, it's gone. And you look at this and it's that molar. It's got the roots there, little bit of blood on it, dried. Right? And you're
That's really weird.
All right. So I think an accurate thing that would happen at this point is I would drop the tooth, immediately have the weapon up, and be looking all over the place for who the fuck just like gave me a roofie and tore out my tooth.
Right. For
You're
sure.
really going to shoot the tooth fairy?
Now,
Hubble?
I'm
You're
gonna
going to shoot the tooth fairy.
Like
I'm going to say that
over cubicle walls and like I'm like motherfucker, fuck, you know.
Right.
kinda
Okay.
losing
So the way I pictured it is like you guys sort of spread out amongst the cubicle camp trying to scavenge for stuff.
Yep.
So Hubble, you found this by yourself. You do not have to give up the fact that this happened. Okay. You know, that this is what you found. Your bends do increase by 3. You're now up at 7.
You reckon?
Yeah. And I also need you to make me a sanity save, please.
Oh. Okay, hold on. Let me just fix the bends here. 7. And a sanity save, you say?
Mm-hmm.
Conveniently, my worst save. Okay. I have a 27, and I'm going to roll. I think a 53 is a failure in this case.
Yes. So you're going to take a stress.
All right.
So you're up to 6.
Yeah, I think this is legitimately a stressful moment. I'm not going to argue that.
Okay.
And then I start kicking over cubicle walls and going, "What the fuck? What the fuck?"
Okay, so you can hear that something is disturbing Hubble, guys, as you guys are searching. As at the moment Sharp finds his ammo, for instance, you know, like you hear Hubble swearing off in a corner somewhere.
What are you doing? We're trying to kind of keep a low profile here. What you're doing? Put your gun down.
Thulsa, the moment that you look up in surprise and start to admonish Hubble, you yourself are in the cubicle, and there are some ancient papers and things like pinned up on the wall, on like at the corkboard wall and all that sort of stuff, right? And you get up from your sitting position where you're scrounging around on the floor to kind of stand up and admonish Hubble from across the room, when your eyes light upon a photograph amongst other things on that corkboard, like scheduling and forms and all that sort of stuff. But there's like just a what do you call it, a Polaroid photo attached to it. It's a portrait. It's a photograph of a little girl, and she's standing on a beach. Actually, she's standing on a boardwalk with the beach in the background. There is a sign of a garish mini golf course in the upper left-hand corner, and the girl is holding one of those gigantic, oversized, kaleidoscopic lollipops, right? And her face around her mouth is all smeared with like that sugary color, food coloring around her mouth. But
it's you, isn't it, Thulsa?
It's you, Thulsa.
It's Hubble.
No,
but the problem is, Thulsa. It's Hubble.
guys, there's something I need to tell you.
Thulsa, it's definitely you. You recognize yourself, but your mind snaps because you have no memory of ever being on that boardwalk, mini golf course, beach, lollipop. You have no idea. You have never been to the beach in your entire life. You know that for a fact. But you also know that your companions have been sort of letting you know that you've been forgetting things recently. But those things have always been short-term memory loss, like like of recent events that you've forgotten. You have no memory of this from whatever 30 years ago of this ever occurring.
Like 60 years ago, isn't it?
No, I'm not the old.
You're old.
So Thulsa,
I'm old. She's fine.
You don't get Ben's, but I need you to make me a Ben's check, please.
Okay. Okay. Rolling over my 40. Here we go. Okay. Well, don't quite make it that time. It's a 12.
Oh, nice. Okay. You make me switch over here.
Not nice.
You know, I think an old woman like this should probably also make a body save to avoid a heart attack at this moment. I think.
Dulce is young and vibrant. You monster.
Let's see.
John, before you figure that part out, I'm going to put my sunglasses on and avoid looking at anything on the wall or any of the cubicles.
Smart.
That's good. That's good. La 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 la
La la la. Nothing to see here.
Okay. All right, Thulsa. So what did your? Okay, yeah. So you failed your bench check. Okay.
I failed my bench. Yeah.
Right. So you memory hold that event if it happened at all. You're not really sure. You're starting to question: did it happen? I don't know. That whole thing. And as your mind sort of snaps and you're trying to reconcile what's going on, your mind just wipes of all recent memory. Like you just have you go into like a fugue state for like about 10 seconds where you don't even remember like how you got into this place. You're pretty sure that you might be alone in this room. Did I come with companions? I don't even know. Where am I? Am I in the deep? Like, what is this place? You're really suffering. So you sort of slide down the wall and just sort of shake a little bit as you kind of clasp your knees around your your arms around your knees.
Yeah, I'm hiding. I mean, whatever is in that cubicle with me, I kind of pull that up over.
Yeah,
I'm hiding. I'm blending in. I don't know what's going on. Safest thing to do: hide, wait, and see if I can make any sense of this.
The end result of that mechanically is that you actually gain 7 bends.
And then out of nowhere, a Marine you've never seen before runs up and says, "They took my tooth. Run before they take yours."
I think it's amazing. I also think that would cause Matt to make a fear save. Make a fear save.
I think Hubble absolutely is doing this because he's freaking out.
That's great. Yeah, I love it.
Okay, let's see. Fear is 21. No problem. As I roll a 9.
Oh, nice. Okay. All right. So you're too wrapped up in your own thing to like to pay attention to the screaming Marine.
I'm like, who's this idiot talking about the tooth? Go away.
All right. So
I have some things to figure out.
Sharp, you hear this all this chaos, and you just slip on your sunglasses. You're like, nope.
There's like a little thing on my visor for my battle dress. I'm just like,
yeah. Exactly. I'll just wait till they get over this. You fortunately, Sharp, do not find anything that is disturbing except for 2 very disturbed comrades, which fades over time, guys. You can role play it as much as you want, but those states dissipate after time.
So after this moment has passed, I still have a missing tooth that I appear to be holding.
Try putting it back in.
Oh, no way, man, because that thing's probably now got a chip in it. There's no way that's going back in my head.
Mm-hmm. I go up to Thulsa and I'm like, come with me if you want to live.
Nice.
She's like weighing her options. Do I admit that I don't know this guy? Or he seems friendly enough. Like, wait, are you sure? Where do you want to go?
Remind her about the vac suit.
Let's go get our Ackler stuff.
No, we were going to go stash the vac suit.
Oh, right. We haven't even done that yet. Okay.
Exactly. Should happen. Yeah.
We've literally been out of the elevator. That's amazing. Let's do that.
Also, Mike, do you actually have a pulse rifle?
No, that's why I said earlier I would give you the ammunition until you went on a dental freak out. So
I didn't hear you say it.
yeah,
I'll take it. Yeah.
Okay, so
All right.
so Thulsa, your tethers to reality are very, very shaky. Some of them are snapping, as we've seen over the course. But this is a big nail. That incident, and then combined with your normal memory lapse, and then also with your suspicion. When you do see Sharp and Hubble again, and then you didn't even remember that you were with them, and now you're not even sure who they are. Are they friends, foes? It's just, you're really in a bad state, just so you're aware.
Well,
can I ask a question?
Yeah.
Does she show us the picture, or can we see her holding the picture, or anything like that? And do we?
I'm not
see
going to show you that. No.
And do we see the same thing she says?
I'm sorry. Say that again.
Like, was there an opportunity for us to see the photo that's causing her to freak out? And do we see the same thing that she is saying?
Thulsa is not showing you the picture, right?
No, she's freaking out and curled up in a ball. So, like,
I mean, you've seen worse. You've seen her do worse.
Well, that's true. Yeah. Okay. If you go investigate like where she is, then yeah, you would see it. So, yes, you see the exact same photo. The photo is there.
Okay. And does it look like her?
You wouldn't know what I'd look like as a little girl. Come on,
dude. If I showed you a picture of me at age 12, you'd be like, "Oh yeah, that's totally Mike." I mean, yeah.
It would take you a minute or so to kind of like look around and see why Thulsa is freaking out. Like if she's not going to tell you, it would just be. I mean, I'm just going to meta it, say like eventually you would, but and maybe you could see the resemblance. But if she's not giving you anything, then it's very difficult to sort of see like, okay, why is she freaking out? You know? Yeah.
Well, one of the things that she's going to do, right, is, she's a scientist. Her whole professional life has been on finding objective facts, right? Like looking for data, trying to fix things that where subjectivity does not come into play at all, right? Mm-hmm. It's not like, is this pretty? Is this nice? Is this good? Is this bad? Is this right? Is this wrong? This is all about, does this fit? Is this does this work? Is this the right thing? And so I think she's going to, really distance herself even more from like the emotional part of stuff that's going on, like becoming more and more, she's a roboticist, right? So she's going to become, in her own mind, like even more robotic.
Yeah. I love that. That's really cool. Right. Yeah.
Trying to shut down these emotions, because that's like where she's going to go is like, all of these soft things, all of these emotional things, they're causing problems. But if I stick to what I know, which is fixing things, making things work, then I can get through this. That I love that, change.
We can turn this into a check if you want, because I think like you're being proactive about trying to subsume the rising insanity that's kind of overtaking you. So you can just role play it if you want, but I'll give you this choice. I'll let you make a sanity save to reflect this attempt, right? And if you succeed at it, I'll actually reduce your bends by D10.
Okay.
But if you fail, you will gain a stress point as usual, and you'll also increase your bends by D5.
I will always take that. Bargain.
Okay.
No matter how you answer this question, can I use my robotics on this roll? Because
I think yes. I think that's a really cool, like off the wall use of robotics. Yeah. Yeah.
That's where she's trying to go. She's trying to go to her happy place. Okay.
I think that's rad. Yeah.
So sanity is 45. Robotics is 20. So I'm trying to go under a 65.
That's pretty good. Okay.
But you have to talk in a robot voice from now on. That's part of the deal.
Or if you make it, yeah.
I can do this. Yeah, I can do this.
Like Max Headroom robot, though. Hey.
Just rolled a 4, John.
A 4?
Wow.
Okay, great. Okay, so your bends are, I rolled really high. You're going to reduce your bends by 9. So you're back down to a 38.
38 bends. Nice.
Okay, that's
a lifelong aversion to lollipops.
Yeah, for real.
I hate lollipops, but yeah, she's cool. She's more emotionless, maybe even than David at times. Like
I like it.
David's a pretty cool customer.
I think it's really cool that you like
But,
proactively tried to like battle your insanity. So that did not remove the conditions that you're still suffering from, but you're just you managed to reduce your overall empathy for things, and just so the downside is that you're much colder now, right? But it did have a positive mechanical effect. Cool, love it. All right, so wrapping up in the cubicle camp, you found everything you need. You found some disturbing discoveries. Not sure what to kind of make of them. And then you head across the cubicle camp and you get to the escape pod. So you haven't been here since like episode 2 or 3 or something.
Yeah, that was a while ago.
So just to remind you, because it is a very strange room, everything in this room, especially compared to the cubicle camp, is pristine, still pristine, even after all of the catastrophe that's happened and all the fallout. Okay.
Well, that's great.
Completely spotless and clean. You have deliberately made one sort of broken and jacked up looking. Tulsa did that, if I remember correctly, right?
Looking only. It wasn't actual damage.
Right.
Yeah, we pulled some like useless wires and had panels hanging down, like some insulation out.
And I actually have a note that you put a sign there that said DNU fucked up, right? So do not use fucked up. As sort of like bait. It doesn't, not bait, but just to see if someone messed with anything. So it doesn't look like anyone has been in here to mess with anything. And again, it looks like each of these pods has enough air, water, and food for 3 days for each pod, right? And there are 3 pods that are left.
I thought it was more than that. Okay.
And how many people fit in a pod?
Oh, I'm sorry. There are 11 pods, but each pod has 3 cryopods each inside. Right. So each pod can hold 3 people, right? In cryostasis. And then each one of those escape pods has enough food for 3 days. Okay. So that's the deal. And you're going to drop off your vac suit. That's basically all you're doing here, right?
Yeah, I'm going to strip off my vac suit and put it in the damaged pod.
In the damaged pod. Right. Okay. I'm just going to add that real quick.
And then when we're leaving, I'm going to be the last one out doing a security sweep, and I'm leaving my tooth behind in the pod.
In the same pod?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because it's got a chip in it, and I don't want it anymore.
Okay.
That's a fucked up tooth.
Okay.
Wait. Mm-hmm. Then I'm standing there thinking, wait, he's going to use it to clone me. No, it's not a clone. They're not going to clone me with a tooth. That's the brain scan thing.
Maybe you already are a clone.
Maybe I am a clone. Mm-hmm. Fuck it. I'm leaving the tooth. It's got a chip in it, and I don't want it. Okay.
The moment that you leave the escape pod bay and you go back into the cubicle camp,
boy,
you have developed a nervous tick where you cannot stop tonguing the gap in your upper teeth.
I'm doing it right now.
You just can't stop doing it. Right? Yeah, we're all doing it. And you can't stop doing it. You're just constantly doing it, especially when you're stressed out, which is basically when you're on the deep permanently. So you just have that tick now. Okay. I assume that you're going to the lifts are like right outside here, down the corridor, right to the lift. Okay. So with the lift in mind, we'll take our first break and we'll see what happens when they go back down to level 4. We'll be right back. All right, we are back. Bladders empty, beers full. All right, so after that disturbing discoveries in the cubicle camp, you hitch a left down the hallway and you reach the dreaded elevator. It goes down, just to remind you again, the first stop is H.E.L, floor 4, which is your destination, but it does go all the way down to floor 6, should you need to go back down that H.E.L hole, which is in shreds right now. Okay, so, but you're going down to H.E.L, right?
Yep.
Yes.
Okie dokie. Ding. Down you go. And you arrive in the lobby of H.E.L.
This is one with all the security androids, though, right?
But they've been all webbed up.
Yes.
Remember the hunter like webbed everything up on the ceiling.
Yes. So it's drippings with goo. It's dripping with pseudo milk. Actually, most of that's probably dried up after 9 days. But there is a nasty, gross sort of. I picture it like dried pseudo milk to sort of be like the glue that you would pick off whenever you were a kid. Elmer's glue, right?
Oh, like Elmer, dried Elmer's on your fingertips.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So that kind of coating is coating the wall, coating all the webbing that is the steel wiring that is all over the top, where those sort of mounds from where the spheres were. Yeah.
I thought you were going to say it was more like a stiff gym sock. So the Elmer's glue is a welcome alternative.
Ted, why did you go there?
Who are you?
Ted probably had a moment where he weighed whether or not he should voice that out loud, and then went with the.
I went with it.
Went with the affirmative.
Here's the line.
So take your pick, one of those two visual images. But yeah, so, it doesn't look like anyone has. Well, that's not true. That's what I was going to say. That doesn't look like anyone's been down here. It looks like there has been passage through here, but no one has made any attempt to cut through the steel wiring that is coating the ceiling. But there are signs of passage. You're not playing D&D, so there's not like footprints or anything like that. But there's definitely, shit has been moved around. People have gone through here.
Yeah, I do think I will stow my weapon.
I'm going to tell these. Go ahead, Ted.
I'll stow my weapon for passing through this room because if they've got some, seventh sight or something, I don't want to have them shooting through the webbing at me.
Okay. Yeah, it's deathly quiet right now. Nothing seems to happen as you step out of the elevator. It's just a very sort of spooky environment.
Yeah. And before we go very far into the room, Thulsa's going to say, wait, don't be an idiot. And she's going to direct Leica to traverse the path over to the Ackler room just to make sure that everything's kind of clear and safe.
Everything's kosher.
And she'll just like hold up a hand to the big mean boys until he makes it all the way there and make sure it's safe.
Gotcha. Yeah.
I have an idea. If there's a ceiling pod that we think might still have a living android in it, you could point the thing at it and see what kind of result you get. It might be able to detect whether there's any life signs in here.
Oh,
the CDS.
Okay, good idea.
Try it. See what you get.
Makes logical sense, of course. So if Leica can make it all the way over there and nothing kind of jumps out to eat him, I'll go stand under one of those bubbles and use the CDS. Or do I have to be touching the thing, or can it work at range?
So what you get whenever you sort of activate it is you get like a thing saying no subject detected.
So maybe everybody's dead in there, or the webbing is blocking the signal.
Yeah.
Have we had to touch them in the past?
John, has it worked at a distance before, or do I need to?
You have not tried to use it at a distance before, so you're not sure why it's giving you that. What's the reason?
Okay.
Are there still threads going across the room that we have to traverse?
Not traverse. They're all basically on the ceiling and walls.
Okay.
So the floor is relatively clear, but that's why you're able to detect that there has been passage here. So the Ackler is one of 4 different egresses out of this room, but it's just down a short little hallway. The other bulkhead door is the one that you haven't been to, and it calls tantalizingly to you because it is the name of the level itself. Human Emulation Labs still have yet to be breached by you.
That's true. I think it's a cool thing to maybe consider. But the first, laser focus, we have a goal. We're going to go to the Ackler and find out what these things are.
Okay. Don't mind me. This is a normal personal size room. Okay. So yeah, you open that door, and actually I should clarify, did we have this on here? Yeah, you do have it on there. The only bulkhead door is actually the one that leads to the Human Emulation Labs. There's a regular door that leads to a small corridor that then leads to a bulkhead door that goes to the Ackler. It makes the Ackler more secure. So you entered into the Ackler. This is where Caius was, right?
And probably still is fine.
I can't remember. I should have made a note. What happened to his body? Did you just leave it there?
We left it there.
We left it there.
As far as I can recall, we left it there.
Okay. Then I should say, if that's the case, the body is not there, and there is probably dry blood smear leading from the Ackler back the way you came and into the elevator, as if the body was removed somewhere by someone.
Okay.
Sorry, I should have said
gross.
that before. I just forgot that I hadn't made a note about chaos. So Caius is not there, but there is the chair still has bullet holes in it, and there's still some blood left over that's in the chair. But there is a nice fat readout that's spooled on the floor, coming out of like a printer machine.
What's it say? What's it say?
So
I pick it up and read it.
it's basically like the long CVS stripped once again, and like halfway through it, you could basically cut it because the longer half is the black, like the older half is the black marble, and the other half is the
You get 20% off conditioner.
the floppy disk. Okay, so the reveal, the black marble,
Da-da-dum.
okay, is interesting, but probably a little bit anticlimactic. What's interesting is that the Ackler, with all of its capabilities, its known ability to give you a full readout of what these very, very strange things are, was a bit perplexed by this smallest of artifacts that you found, in that
What?
the material itself is undiscovered. It is of an element that is not on the periodic table, which is what perplexed the Ackler. It has it just reads no known material. No one knows what it's made out of. It also says that after numerous tests over constant hours of applied pressure and different techniques, it concludes that it is likely indestructible.
Okay.
The Ackler gives, like, it's very careful to say likely, like all the forces it can bring to bear, nothing could affect the marble. Nothing could change it. Heat, force, nothing. Likely indestructible. And then it concludes at the very end in just a very small little entry line, right at the very end, says no known use.
I'll tell you what you use it for. Industrial ball bearings that can't wear out. Holy moly, man. You'd make a fortune.
Very true, actually.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Sweet.
You don't know. Might get kind of hot when they heat up, though.
And as you already know,
because they're not frictionless.
they're worth about 10,000 credits on the market.
Perfect. And what about the floppy disk?
Okay, so now the disk. The disk has very clear readout of what it is, and it actually gives it a title of what this actually contains. So it concludes that what it is a plastic, mostly plastic, partial metal, floppy drive, 3.5 inch floppy drive, and it gives you gives you way too much information on like what the makeup is of like a floppy disk, right? It's like, okay, yeah, I got that, understand. Contents of data on the disk itself, heavily encrypted, but it managed to decrypt it. Jump drive feedback coil blueprints. And it gives you those blueprints, and they're wildly complex. And it's, you get the vague impression, kind of glancing over that. Thulsa, you'd probably be the first to sort of suss out like what exactly you're looking at. And it is actually a standard jump drive that would be placed, that'd be installed on like a large ship that can make jumps between systems. And you're looking at, but the which you would have been familiar with also, I think, with robotics and electronics and all that kind of stuff, like generally what the inner workings of a jump drive would look like. But you're looking at this and you're like, what the fuck did they do to this thing? And it's like, oh my God. And you're looking at the equations. You're like, holy shit. And you realize that it is of highly advanced next level technology in jump drive tech that would have the requirements for any jump drive. Like, so it would have the amount of time it takes to get anywhere. It would have the amount of power needed to jump. So like you wouldn't need as powerful of a drive in order to, so you can make a jump drive smaller, so it could be attached to smaller ships. Basically, it's like the next huge leap forward in jump technology. All right. And it's so impressive. It would completely reshape the economy of human occupied space. Right.
Wow.
How fast would it make the Kessel run?
Just 6 parsecs.
7.5 okay, fine. 6 parsecs.
And so your mind sort of boggles as how valuable these blueprints would be. But you don't have to actually think about it that long. because the Ackler has figured it out for you. You want to know how much this thing is worth?
10.
I would very much like to know this.
100 million.
100 million credits.
Nice.
There you
Rot of debt, boys.
An insane value. Also, it doesn't have this on the readout, but your next thing you conclude is that this is very, very dangerous to have on your person. Like this is the kind of thing that countries would go to war for, right? Whole star
Why
systems
did we
would go
bring
to
this
war
over
for.
here? I can't remember. Like, why did you guys tell us to bring this over here?
Oh,
It's really
yeah.
stupid.
We really should have left this behind. That's nuts.
Yeah, it's
I mean,
amazing.
next time, please just listen to your scientist. It would save a lot of trouble.
Man.
Shoot you in the
And
head.
she genuinely can't remember that you take one.
She's great, man.
So you're looking at those. You're looking at that
Actually,
readout, and you can feel the weight, the light. Just a couple of grams weight of the disk drive, and whoever's is that in yours, Hubbles, right? Your pack.
I mean, I think I'm carrying it.
Yeah.
So I'm going to,
You have the price
Adjust-
of like a troop ship in your pocket.
just tighten the buckles on my battle armor a little bit and be like,
How many wounds do you have left?
How many what? Wounds?
How many wounds do you have?
why do you ask, sir?
I think I have more, and maybe it would be better to give it to me.
Oh, I thought you were going to say, like, because you hear a rifle cock right by your ear.
That's what I was afraid too. Well, now I find out who my friends are.
No, but for real though, I'm not even lying. Like I still have full wounds, full health.
I mean, and Thulsa says, "Don't be an idiot. Give it to him. You're closer to dying than he is."
I mean, it's 100 million credits. It's just somebody hand over 100 million credits.
It's our 100 million credits, and this is going to get us a lot it money back on.
This is the same reason why you don't want to give it to me, because I'm going to die like this. Give it to him. I die like this. It takes 2 snaps to get you.
You might even snap it in half or something.
Just a meta game. I won't be here next week. It'll be perfectly safe inside my battle armor.
You still have to get through the rest of tonight's session. Your record is not going well right now.
All right, that's a good point. I give it to Shadwell, and I've crossed it off my character sheet, and I'm handing it to a crazy Richard Sharp, who will definitely not get expelled into space unexpectedly tonight, I'm sure.
Okay.
John, now I killed him.
Yeah.
And scene.
Bye. All right.
Is there John? Is there? Okay, we know this now, right? Is there anything in this room that we could use, like jury rigging, to make a fake one?
Like a floppy disk?
Yeah, like a worst comes to worst, like a little, just kind of at a glance,
like another floppy disk, maybe from the pile of floppy disks in the storage closet, kind of thing.
Yeah, I mean, there's nothing.
I don't know if they have any.
It seems like an easy thing, but there literally is. There's no other floppy disk in the room.
Stuff.
Unfortunately, yeah. Sorry.
But nothing that we could put together to try to, because I'm not looking at making a real one.
Yeah. Just
like in a moment, throw it up in the air or something. Just to have something that we could use in a pinch. Yeah.
How about this? Maybe you could figure it out with your computer skills and so on, but perhaps the H.E.L has within all of those arms and toys inside the room there, some 3D printing capacity in order if it needs to make a part in order to test something, right? So it doesn't have the exact plug it needs to get into whatever, it fabricates it. So if it's got a fabrication capacity, it could fabricate a 3.5-inch disc, possibly.
I would think that's probably likely. I don't have any real reason to argue against that. Yeah.
So if you can interface the computer well enough to tell it to execute such an action, we could have it print out a bunch of floppies. We'd have to go get them, but
it isn't a fully automated system, so you would it would require like admin access to the computers that or either like a, what do you call it, a PEK or whatever, personal encryption key sort of thing, right? Like you would have to have some sort of access card in order to tell the machines to do that, or hack into it, right?
Yeah, we're not hackers.
Nobody has hackings.
Yeah.
No, my backup character does. If you just want to shoot me and get it over with, and then.
But you can always ask me, Matt, like if as you go further, like does this room have something that would qualify for that, right? You know,
like,
just remind me, sort of thing. You know, that sort of because obviously like the module's not going to be like there's a disk here. You know, you had to ask me like, does this have anything that might be suitable? Just ask me.
Sure.
This room does not.
Should we go to the Human Emulation Lab? With 100 million credits in our pocket.
It does raise an interesting question. I mean, we have technically right now our ticket out of here.
What I would argue, we just go and like David,
he wakes up all by himself.
Next big session is just David and John just sitting there. No, but what I would argue then, guys, is that now we're working for ourselves, right?
Yeah,
that's what I was thinking. Ticket for freedom here, but we still have a lot of loot that we could gather.
We do still need to bribe our way out, and the Zhongxi might not be particularly cheap to bribe at this point if they suspect we are the ones that caused the kerfuffle. Yeah, I don't think 10,000 credit marbles is going to do the job. But
I mean,
there's
5 of them, but yeah.
I mean, I think that's how we got in was with 50,000 credits, and I think we're going to need more to get out. So
we have a whole nother artifact if we are really determined to do that.
Yeah. So that the cable ball the cable ball is worth 2 million credits.
Oh, 2 million. I thought it was worth like 100,000. Okay, well, maybe we could leave then.
Yeah.
You have another campaign ready, John? Should we leave? No? Okay, we're going to keep going. Let's go to the Human Emulation Lab.
We finished it. Monarch's like, wait, I still have to talk to you guys more.
Yeah, Monarch hasn't spoken with us directly other than like, I don't think it even spoke to us directly. He just did those like general warnings, right? Like,
yeah.
Did he talk to? I don't think so.
No.
Are you worthy of being talked to?
No.
Yes, obviously.
So don't you know? I mean, we're obviously pro metagaming in 3D6 down the line, but don't make decisions for the campaign based upon like. We should keep playing because we haven't played this game enough, right? Like if you've got the 100 million credits, this was like a key thing to apparently what Thelema told you was if you can return this to your contact on Prospero's dream, just having it doesn't alleviate the debt. You need to return it to a certain person, a contact. On Prospero's dream. Then you will be free of your debt. That's what Thelema tells you.
Right.
Yeah. We're going to find out about the interest.
Mm-hmm.
Oh boy. I do like Mike's point though, is that like, okay, we can get out of our hole. Let's try and pile up a little extra. I mean, the 2 million credits is great. I do think it's going to be a fat bribe to get out of here. I think a little more loot is a good thing. You know, I've got a lot of shore leave to spend time on, really.
Well, the deeper ways. So one mystery is that is right here, is the Human Emulation Labs. You haven't been in there.
That's what I'm saying, dude.
But there's there's the vast expanse of the deep. Like the largest chunk, which is smaller sub levels, is level 3, the big round part around the center of the deep, right? Which is the factory itself, like where androids are apparently made. Right. This is where the divers, whenever you talk to divers, have usually been referring to like where they end up going is to the factory to go try to find interesting stuff. So there's also that level 3, right? It's a huge, vast, unexplored space. Just to give you your options. But yes, the Human Emulation Labs are staring at you right here.
Let's do it.
We're right here.
Let's do it.
Matt says we should. Thulsa thinks we're foolish. We came to do X, we have X, but whatever the hell, let's do it.
Okay.
All right.
So there is a bulkhead door. Clearly says Human Emulation Labs. There is no like hazardous materials or warning or anything like that. Oh, I should say too, generally in the deep now, all of that red emergency lighting has stopped since the 9 days. So that's all.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Now,
Yeah, it just clearly says Human Emulation Labs. That's all basically it's given you.
One question, like John, on our map, it's marked as an airlock door. Is it an airlock door or is it a bulkhead door that leads to Human
She said
Emulation
bulkhead.
Lab?
Bulkhead, yeah.
It's bulkhead. Okay.
Yeah.
Because the map, yeah. Okay, great. So, yeah, is there a card reader on this, John? Because I still have that ID card that I took from that statue.
I remember, yeah. Rachel Ali,
Episodes and episodes ago.
the HR department. There is no card reader though.
Okay, then I do not try to use it. I would look foolish.
Is it blocked?
Let's just try.
You want to try?
Nope. Let's try it.
All right.
Okay.
I'll cover the door with my pulse rifle and let someone else try it.
Sharp.
I'm the one carrying the $100 million floppy disk. You open the door.
Oh, that means Thulsa opens the door.
Also, open the
Okay.
door.
What the hell? I will open the door. It makes sense. But I open it and I stay behind the door. Like,
Right, sure. Heart fluttering a little bit, you open up the large, thick door to the Human Emulation Labs. You will find your peering beyond that it is a huge industrial size space, vast and forbidding and very, very strange and off-putting. What you see before you, vast chamber that where there is data. Yeah,
I just wanted to say, hey, Matt, I don't, because I'm on this portable laptop here.
I got it.
You're mapping?
I get
Great.
it. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you. Sorry, John.
no worries.
Better you than me.
Yeah, so it is a you're going to want to outline it in yellow because of its yeah, there you go, you got it. A room full, like oceans upon oceans of screens with data dancing across them, all across, just like lines and lines of code just flowing across them as far as the eye can see. There is a audible low hum that is emitting from like a what am I trying to say? You're not really sure. It's basically pervasive in the room, in the chamber itself, just like a low hum of extremely powerful computation going on at all times. And probably cooling fans and all that sort of stuff going on. That it makes all of you have to sort of pitch your voices up just slightly in order to hear each other. Hanging from the walls. Let me see. Let me just check here real quick so I don't get it wrong. Yeah. Okay. So hanging from the walls are bulbous hemispheres that are kind of at first kind of resemble like where the security androids were in the lobby, but they're not hanging from the ceiling. They're on the walls. They're a little bit smaller, but that's like the first thing that sort of clicks in your head is like, oh shit, are they security androids? But they're not. They are studded with multiple cameras facing in different angles. And there's 8 of them dotted around this chamber, like in this huge, huge chamber. Okay. And they all have, the cameras are behind like these sort of, I probably shouldn't have even told you, but they're behind like opaque visors. So it's kind of difficult to tell, but I'll just give it to you. They're like cameras that basically cover all aspects. There is no, if you're looking to not be on camera, it's impossible. Put it that way. All right. But most disturbing of all is the inhabitants in the room and how they're organized.
Ew.
There are 4 circles, more in different sort of shapes and makeups, but all of these circles contain children, young children from about the ages of like 6 to 12. That's what they look like. The first one that you see, there is a ring of 20 children, dust coated, and there are thick cables that are sprouting from the base of their skulls. All right. And they are all interconnected with those cables. And there's multiple cables coming out of the base of their skulls. And other cables are actually spool coming down from their so they're interconnected with cables, and then some of them are actually draped along the floor and going into like the data bank. All right.
As if what we're looking at is the children themselves are the processing power, or are they like the cables like you'd see in a hospital?
It's more like the cables that were like in the back of like a Matrix guy's thing in their pod.
Yeah, that's
Right.
what I thought. Okay.
But these children are not in pods. They're sitting in like in a circle, sitting Indian style, cross-legged, just sort of eyes closed and just all in a circle facing each other. Right.
And they're
Another-
dusty, you said? Like they've been sitting there a long time?
Exactly. They're coated in dust. Like looks like natural dust. There's another circle of 20 workbenches, small little workbenches, all in a circle. And behind each one of those benches is a child sitting behind them. And there is a big screen, a 360-degree screen situated in the middle of that circle that is displaying extremely complex engineering problems. Also, you can suss out that they're engineering problems. You can't suss out what the solutions are or anything like that, but you can see that they're they're engineering problems that are slowly rotating through different mathematical, engineering problems. And the children sit at each one at their own little workbench, are rapidly trying to figure out the solutions to these problems using a whole bunch of different tools and materials on their workbench, and their hands are moving so fast that they're a blur. You can't even see the individual fingers. They're just like really rapid fire. You ever seen those videos like of I don't know where it is. I think it's like in South Asia somewhere where like the kids do like those abacus tests in mass, and they're just like it's like that, right? But with tools on the workbenches. The third circle is 20 glass spheres that are floating in what appears to be a pocket, like a chamber within this larger chamber of hell that is 0G. And so there are 20 glass spheres floating in 0G. And those spheres are completely opaque. And the reason they're opaque is because they are covered thickly with mathematical formulae that are coating the outside of the spheres. All right. But you can see just barely through that opaqueness of how thick the mathematical formula are on the spheres is you see movement within them. All right.
Like when you say like written on it, like with a Sharpie kind of a thing?
Yes, basically like that. Yeah. But thick.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. But there is something in there moving around in each one of those 20 spheres that are floating around in 0G, just sort of boom, boom, boom. Okay. And then
John,
the last,
are these, I'm sorry. Is it reversed? Does it look like it's being written on from the inside, or does it look like it was written on from the outside?
From the inside. Good question. Yeah.
Okay.
And then the last one is appears to be another separate room that looks into what appears to be an idyllic family lounge from like the 40s or the 50s. Right, like something you would see in like Disneyland's Tomorrowland from back in the day, right? So it's just a like a shag carpet and an ugly brown refrigerator, that sort of thing, right? Actually, it wouldn't be a refrigerator, but it's a family lounge, and you're pretty certain that you're looking behind like a panel of one-way glass, like you're looking through, and whoever's in there can't see you. And there is a control room that is attached to it that has cameras and sensors that are reading what's in the room. Okay. There is a single child that is sitting between two adults who are like the two adults are sitting in the couch and they're watching TV, and the child is sitting in between them, slightly kicking its legs, that are not sitting on the ground, not on the ground. And then after about 10 minutes, as you watch, the two parents suddenly seem to like snap out of watching TV, and they just you can't hear them, but they immediately start to get into an argument, like a shouting argument. Like they get up and they start to yell, and the kid hops off and looks confused, and then looks up at his mom and his dad and starts to sort of cry. And the parents don't seem to pay attention to him. And he starts to yank on his mom's like apron strings, and she's just sort of bats him away, sort of thing, while she continues to yell at her husband, and just sort of watches that sort of play out. That's what you kind of see when you first enter the room.
That's what androids think of humans. That's the bit they're emulating.
It's all like, it's wildly different. just a huge disconnect between the four different circles. Just the fact that they're all children, obviously being not abused, but just mistreated in some sort of way.
Right.
It's just very, very disturbing. So I need everyone obviously to make a sanity check, please. Sanity save.
This is fine. This is how we grew up in the core, man. This is like totally normal.
It's like it is a very human thing to emulate.
Yeah, have you ever seen Ender's Game?
All right, who's first, Matt?
Yeah, we'll go Mike and then Ted, and then I'll go last.
All right, You said sanity or fear? Sorry.
Sanity, please.
I rolled a 14.
That's a good
one. What's your target?
25.
Good.
Oh, okay. Cool.
All right, my target's 27, and I rolled a 19. Hey, right on.
All right. You guys are doing
I don't think I've ever made a sanity save before.
Yeah.
That's pretty awesome.
Tulsa's target's a 45, and she rolls an 8.
Wow. Okay. All right. So you guys are veteran divers by this point. Like you've seen some shit. This shit is new. You don't like it. Very disturbing.
No, I don't. Yeah.
But you feel like your mind can hold on.
Matt, put him to the test. Go up to one of those kids with the machine. See what you get.
Oh, hang on. Jumping ahead of me a little bit.
Use the machine, man. I want to find out.
We've got to do this methodically. You said that this whole giant space that there are monitors around the outside as well.
Yeah, like all the walls. And remember, this is an industrial scale room, so you can't even see the full scope of it. But everything that you can see is just like banks of screens with code just running across it.
Okay, and I just want to look at one to see if I can get a sense of what this code might be doing. Is it processing mathematical formula? Is it just like a computer language that I don't know? Is it like in binary or something? Is it just like random like matrix flashing stuff?
You have computers as a skill?
I have computers as a skill. I do.
Okay. You're not in a stressful situation, so I'm not going to make you roll. But I'll just say because of your knowledge of computers, that it actually shows your lack of knowledge of what you're looking at here. The best analogy I can give is like the Matrix Reloaded whenever he meets the architect at the end. Right. Remember those banks of screens, but on a much larger scale. But the classic Matrix string of, what is it? The comma, what's the word? So I don't fuck this up. The Japanese.
Oh, I don't remember what it was called.
Starts with a K.
Here. Katakana.
The katakana. Thank you. God, it was going to kill me. But like was loosely based on the katakana, right? Like it was like an adaptation of that. Right. It's just picture that, like the scrolling green, like going down.
Making sure that it wasn't familiar. Yeah.
So it looks like a heavily encrypted, at least to your eyes, it looks like encrypted, or at least in a language that you don't understand, or it could just be the code is so advanced that you just can't recognize it, but it's beyond your capacity to understand. You have no idea what it's sampling.
Yeah, and that in itself is is telling.
Right.
So I do want to get close enough to the kids who are doing the engineering equations on the screens, but I want to make sure that the guys with guns stay back. I just want to walk up with hands kind of clearly open and visible, very slowly. I just want to walk close enough to see what those equations are. And John, what I'm looking for is I want to tell if these kids are trying to solve this, degrading orbit problem. I might not be able to come up with answers, but I should be able to tell, are these, orbital calculations, or these like gravity, formula, blah, blah, blah. I'm not a scientist, but she is. Does it look like they're working on that kind of math?
Right. Gotcha. Okay. So you, Thulsa, are the only one who can make any sense whatsoever of what they're attempting to do. These are the kids at the workbenches, just to be clear, not the ones with the cables coming out of their head, right? That have collected dust, right? So when you're looking at this large screen, the 360-degree screen, the problems that are coming up are they rotate through a number of different ones. Seems to be like quite a large variety. And the kids shift seamlessly between projects as the screen shifts, which is also something that's amazing, right? They just immediately shift to a different set of tools and start working on that problem. One of the problems that you're seeing, because you're looking for it, Thulsa, you can see that it is the is you can see like it's the schematics of the bottom half of not the bottom half, but the bottom section of the deep. And indeed, it does appear to show that there is heavy damage to the bottom of the deep, and they are attempting to work out a solution or maybe a damage assessment or something. But they are definitely working on some sort of thing that is related to the catastrophe that has just happened. The other problems are more abstract, like something that you'd see in like an engineering textbook, right? As examples, nothing that you can kind of quite relate to anything that's going on in the deep. However, if you want to make an intellect, you yourself could solve this if you made a intellect check. If you want to, it's up to you.
Okay.
What's the point of stress? Go for it.
Yeah, why not? Trying to figure out if there's anything that I could apply to it. Well, if it's the schematics of the bottom level of the deep, seems like I could make an argument for including my mechanical repair.
Yes, for that one in specific, I would definitely allow you to do that. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So I'll roll intellect, which is a 37.
Wait. I'm sorry. What do you have?
Wait.
Intellect of what?
My intellect is 37.
Yeah.
Mechanical repair is plus 15.
Okay. I made a mistake, and I don't want you to get a stress for my mistake. So you. I just misread what the requirements are. You do not have a high enough. Don't take offense. You don't have a high enough intellect to be able to solve this problem.
Yeah, the Marines start laughing. You're stupid.
One of us.
Sorry, I shouldn't even led you on that you could even attempt to make a roll. You do not have a high enough intellect.
John,
the old Thulsa would have cried.
Just for clarity's sake, I have an intellect of 40.
And I have an intellect of 35.
Okay, dumb shits. Yeah, none of you guys are going to solve that. Yeah, you guys don't meet the requirements. The requirements are very, very high. But before we investigate more in this room, it is past time for a second break. Let's do that real quick, and we will be right back.
Right on.
All right, we are back. Bladders empty, beers full. One thing I've realized is that you guys can't see it, but I forgot to turn this particular overlay back to non-bloody. So let me do that real quick. Just noticed it. There we go. Nice.
I feel better.
Yeah. All props to David who's absent for that awesome artwork.
So you don't have an overlay for all the child endangerment that we were going on here? That
you wouldn't believe the hideous pictures of children I have on this overlay. One key detail that's sort of related to the first circle that you saw with the kids that were all connected with the cables is that the entire huge expanse of this room has huge piles of dust on the floor. It doesn't look like anyone's been in here for a long time. All right. And no one has messed with the kids. Right. So the kids, so the two accessible circles of kids are the first two, right? The workbench ones and the cabled ones, right? I mentioned that the cabled ones had dust on them. The other workbench kids don't because they're working furiously, right? So they don't. But the ones that are just sort of sitting there do. But when you kind of look at the rest of the dust in the room and the dust on the kids in the first circle, you have a feeling that all the other kids in the room have also probably been here just as long. While while Thulsa is investigating the workbench kids, Hubble and Sharp, I'll say that you kind of have your eyes on the ones that have the cables on them. You see one of the 20. And remember, there's 20 at each. Right? You see one of the 20 kids. His eyes, actually, all of their eyes are open, but they're not really looking at each other, just sort of staring into the middle distance. One of the kids actually jerks in a spasm, right? And his eyes like roll back in his head. You can see the massive banks of monitors. The code switches patterns briefly as this happens with the kid, right? The code keeps going, but something changes in the code real quick. And the kid slumps over. Remember, they're all sitting cross-legged. That kid just sort of, he spasmed and he just goes, and he hits the ground. No one else reacts at all. But then, after about 2 seconds, the kid's eyes flutter open and focus, and his eyelids blink a couple of times. And without any movement in the face, he just sort of rights himself back up, crosses his legs again, and just gets into position, and everything kind of goes back to normal. Very, very freaky.
How long does that take for the reboot?
Only about 2 seconds.
Okay.
What's curious, not that Monarch might use androids plugged in for computational power, but that children would be superior at that than fully grown, larger brained androids or specially bred androids or something. Like, why children, other than just the body horror of the whole thing?
Well, I also think, so, Ted, one thing that we might be looking at here is like, so no one's been in this room for a very long time. Like, that's well established, right? These kids are not aging, right? So,
no, I get that. They're not really truly children. I'm just saying, like, they're tiny androids compared to full size androids, basically.
No, that's also, not my point. Yeah. My point is like they were built that way, right? So, is there really any difference between the body of a child with a mental processor or an adult? Maybe it's purely so they can get more of them in here. You know?
Oh, I see what you're getting at. Yeah, that would make sense. Yeah.
Thulsa would say that, you know, with as lifelike as they are able to make these things, we know that, you know, they can be indistinguishable from humans, right? And in human children, their thought processes, their neurons are very plastic. Their brains are they're superior processors to the older ones, really, because they're made to learn rapidly and change and grow. So it makes perfect sense to use them this way. Yeah. And they grow and adapt, and they're made to do that way much faster than adults would. So it would make perfect sense. And she says she'll tell the guys that you know, they're working on the degrading orbit, and she kind of pats her pocket where the cable ball is, and she says, "I think we should offer to fix this. I don't see any value to us for this thing to fall. I
do.
What's this?
Like we grab some expensive loot, we get the hell out of here. This thing crashes, and all of this whole larky of crazy infiltrating androids is blown up. I think that's a total win.
All right. However, if Monarch has something to, you know, reward us with, or to stand aside and not try to murder us every, you know, a little bit of goodwill, I think, might go a long way in our getting out of here without these things.
That artifact you're proposing to stick on there, Monarch built. Like, if Monarch wants to double his computational power, he can just do it.
Well, so then it would be no harm to offer to use it.
I don't think, Matt, if you want to do that, you should absolutely just go ahead and do that. I personally think, like, interfering in this room is potentially really, really bad, right? Because we don't know what other things these guys are working on. That's keeping the station going. John, are there any other ways in or out of this room?
No, there does not appear to be. Although, remember, this is like your first impression. You've only moved as far enough in to sort of look at the what's called the technical circle. You do see something interesting happen over in. Oh, let me for future reference. Let's call it this way to make it nice and easy. The first circle, the one with the cable kids, is called the logical circle. Okay. The one with the workbenches and the engineering problem is called the technical circle. The one with the 0G glass spheres with the mathematical problems and something's inside each one of those spheres is called the mathematical circle. And then the one I'm about to describe something happening in is called the, which is the one way looking into the family lounge room, is called the emotional circle. Mm-hmm. Okay. Within the emotional circle, as you guys are sort of discussing what the best thing would happen to be, is the parents are done shouting, and the kid is curled up on the couch in a corner while they were shouting, and is just crying pitifully. It's really, really sad. And then you see the parents naturally sort of die down in the argument. They sort of turn away from each other with their arms crossed, and they're pissed and nothing got resolved, sort of thing, ignoring the child completely and the child's welfare. The child flits its eyebrows and passes out on the couch, like goes over. And then at the exact same span of time, 2 seconds later, he writes up again. stares blankly with no recognition of his parents, but he calmly and very kind of robotically gets off of the couch, moves to the front door, or maybe it's like a back door or something like that, and mimics as if he was entering from that back door. But when he does so, he actually puts on a backpack, like a colorful backpack from school, and then pretends like he's been carrying it for a while as he just entered the door, and puts down the backpack. And he looks, and then he assumes like a full spectrum of normalcy. His face projects emotion. This emotion is shame, and he looks at his parents, who now are smiling and kind of like greeting him as he kind of comes home from school, sort of thing. And he pulls out a folder out of his backpack, and he pulls out a slip of paper, and he hands it to his parents without really looking them in the eye. And the parents' like faces start to get a little bit like, what's wrong? And they look at the paper, and you guys can see, as kind of looking over their shoulder through the one-way window, that there's a big F on a report card. Sort of thing.
Oh, busted!
Right, and you can't really hear, but you see like both, like the mom looks like really disappointed, and she's looking at the report card, and the dad starts to like really like get right down on the kid's level and starts screaming at the kid, right? Like, just, what do you just yelling at the kid, and the kid's like, starting to cry and starting to like shrivel back, and it's just a really, really bad scene. And it's just as disturbing as watching like the parents fight alone and watch the kid get ignored, but this time like they're directing their anger directly at the kid, and the kid is not handling it well. That just keeps going on. So like the whole scenario sort of shifts into another pretty awful situation.
We're watching simulated scenarios that the program androids run through.
It sure seems like it.
Yeah, to develop
stressful tests.
Yeah, stress tests, and here's how here's how to emulate a human when you have an F on your report card. That kind of thing.
Gradient descent, if you will.
Yeah.
Oh.
I mean,
it works on so many levels.
Like 2 at least.
Yeah.
There's that sporty intellect coming out there. All right.
That's good for us guys. We're
pretty good.
2 levels? Shut up.
I think we should if you're going to give it the thing, give it the thing. I don't think it's, frankly, I don't think there's a scenario where he gets to boost the deep back into a better orbit without mechanical intervention, as in he repairs the thrusters. And that's a hardware issue. He can emulate all he wants. I don't think that giving him our $2 million device is a great idea. But
I'm not giving it to him. I can just like plug it in.
He's not going to give it back.
I would like your own point. He made it. He can make another one if he wants.
I'd like to go through this room and see if there's any other artifacts before you.
That's what I'd like to do.
Before you start willy-nilly just hinkily-plinkily like plugging things in.
Okay.
I think we should. I think we should progress to the other end of the room. For sure.
I'm not going to hinkle, but these guys like search around for more artifacts, John, I'm going to evaluate the logical circle, the tech circle, and the mathematical circle to see if I can locate on any one of those a place where I could jack in my magic ball.
So it's disturbing to think about. The logical circle, each child has a jack in the back of their neck. And like I said, that artifact has a input cable for basically everything.
Okay. All right. I'm gonna give it a minute. I'm gonna let these guys walk around. They want to look for stuff. I'm gonna let them. But I'm also going to look at the camera, because you said that there's like these things studded with cameras. And I'm going to take out this artifact and look at the camera. I'll wait. I'm going to give them time first before I do this, because if anything's going to kick it off, it's that. So she'll she knows where she wants to do, but before she plugs that in, she's going to look at the camera and talk on comms to tell Monarch what she's going to do.
But you're looking at just like one of the 8 like camera centers.
Like there were those bubbles that were studded with these cameras.
Okay.
And she'll talk to Monarch, but I'll let these guys look around first. She hears them. It makes sense. She's going to let them do that first, look around, see if there's anything, and then she's going to talk.
It's a very large industrial scale room. Are you willing to take the time to search thoroughly, guys? Marines.
Yeah. Or Mike, should we just take the time to aim at Thulsa at this point? Is that?
But I think Ted and I should do it together, and we should stay within kind of covering each other kind of thing, right?
Yes, I agree.
Okay. So you take your time. It takes about a half hour or so to kind of thoroughly go through it. You're sifting through dust and all that kind of stuff. It's a very odd room, but other than the collection of just dust, there doesn't seem to be anything. It's relatively clean. You know what I mean? Like there's no scraps or anything like that. However, you're searching diligently and carefully, and you're looking at each one of the circles as well to kind of see if there's anything. You're just because it's the place where the most action is happening, your eyes get inevitably be drawn back to the emotional circle. And instead of whatever horrible thing is going on with the parents and the kid this time around, your eyes are drawn to the very sort of late 70s, early 80s entertainment center that they have their old CRT television on. And there is a rudimentary, one of the first models of VCR on there. There is a.
Is it a beta, John? It's a beta.
It's not a beta. It's not a beta. They're not that cool of a family. But it is it's a VHS. But there is a VHS tape that is actually stuck out of the VCR player. And it has the old sticker on there, the old Kodak yellow sticker on there, right? And Sharp, your heart drops and your eyes go wide.
I put my sunglasses on, man.
No, it's too late, Sharp. It's too late.
Special.
You see that in a black Sharpie marker, relatively neat, but not typed out, handwritten. It says Rick Sharp. And it says it has a date, and that date is something like February of 2075.
Nice.
Which is your childhood,
right?
Right, like you were you were a young child.
So maybe it's a trip to the dentist.
Working on 2 levels. What kind of marker was it?
A Sharpie.
Okay. All right, a little on the nose there, John. I'm just gonna say. John, I'm going to go up to it. I'm going to push it in and watch it.
Okay, so you're not in the room. You have yet to access that actual lounge. You have yet to disturb what's going on in that place. Remember, it's a self-contained chamber that seems to be sort of like a clean room for experimentation, right?
Okay.
Is there a door to it?
Yeah.
There is. There's also there's also a control room right next by, which has all the cameras and sensors and stuff like that, which you have to investigate either.
Can I go to the control room and see if I can find a camera that shows that video, or if there's a play video button or anything like that?
Unfortunately, there's not.
Okay.
But it looks like you would have to manually go into the room and push the tape in, right?
I'm going to do it.
You're going in?
Let me before you go in, let me suggest that if you just walk in and disturb the simulation, I don't know what could happen. But what if you try to interact with the simulation, right? Like knocking at the door, good evening, ma'am. May we come in? There's been some disturbing reports of, female scientists walking around the neighborhood lately. And
videotape inspector. Yeah.
I'm a videotape inspector, that kind of thing, So maybe we can
a great idea.
Interact with the simulation in a way that doesn't disturb its processing.
I love that. And John, if they do talk to me before they just automatically murder me, I still have a plus 10 roll to interact with Chosen.
Right. Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to go ahead and I knock on the door. He doesn't care.
John's not impressed.
Yeah. I knock on the door.
Plus 10 ain't enough with that intellect you got, you dumbo.
You knock on the door. Okay. The simulation continues without, no one recognizes your knock.
Okay. I just opened the door.
Okay. You open the door. Okay. So there is some stale air that kind of comes out whenever you open the door, but doesn't smell like body odor or anything like that. It's just stale, like it hasn't been opened in some time. Right. The people in the room don't seem to understand that you're there. Right. However, when you do open it up, you do hear everything now. And it's exactly like what you expected to hear. Right. The dad is berating his young son about, we've been studying for this sort of thing. How could you fail, right? You're a disappointment. You're never going to grow up to be anything. This is how you repay me. This, I feed you and shelter you, and you're bringing home F's. Like, what are you doing? You're a better kid than this. I'm sorry, Dad. I'm sorry. The whole 9 yards, right?
Yeah. Is it?
I just wanted to play Mothership all the time.
The kid's not me, right? The kid doesn't look anything.
The kid is definitely not you. Yeah.
Okay, good.
But I love the fact that you were worried about that.
Yeah. I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna push the videotape in, John, and see what happens.
Okay. When you push the videotape in, okay, the screen comes on, like the little lines come on, all that kind of stuff in it, and there's the FBI warning. No, there's no FBI warning.
Just the tracking.
Just the tracking. Yeah.
Nice.
A very grainy, old school sort of like low res home video pops up onto the screen. Okay, and you are flooded with nostalgic memories when you see it. All right. Unlike Thulsa, who had no memory of being on the beach and all that sort of stuff, you have a very clear understanding of what you're looking at and relating to it, but you haven't thought about it in 1,000 years. It's you with your dad, who you loved, at least at one point at this age when you were very, very young, probably about like 6 or 7 years old. And you are going hand in hand with him as the sun is setting in the sky, is in a very sort of residential neighborhood. Lots of other kids with their dads walking around and their moms and stuff like that. And you're holding a little orange pumpkin plastic container. And you are dressed in a very garish Buzz Lightyear outfit.
Yes.
And you are on top of the world as your cup overfloweth with candy in front of you as you are going door to door with your dad on a perfect fall night trick or treating.
See, this is a good thing. Why are you guys so horrified, John? I want to eject that tape and I'm going to take it.
Okay.
Wait, I probably need a VCR too. I'm going to take the VCR.
You're like, yoink.
This is mine now.
All right. You actually take the VCR?
Yeah.
Okay. So you unplug the VCR. You just lug the whole fucking thing out.
Dad, why is that guy stealing our VCR?
Shut up, Billy.
Because you got an F.
No, actually something does happen though. Then you're not sure if it's coincidence or if it actually is triggered by what you're doing. The moment that you take out the power of the VCR and the TV like winks out, little Billy, we'll call him little Billy, right in the middle of his dad, like screaming at him, falls over. Okay.
Like
and
a reboot?
Yeah. And the moment that he falls unconscious, the dad immediately stops yelling. Doesn't look surprised, just stops yelling. Freezes for like in the amount of time that it takes for Billy to reboot in the 2 seconds. The two parents basically stand up straight and look at each other, but with no recognition, and just wait for those 2 seconds as Billy sort of gets back up again. And then a whole nother scenario starts to unfold in front of you. Okay. And it happens at the exact moment that you decouple the power of the VCR. All right.
Cool.
And you leave, or do you keep interacting?
No, I'm going to leave. I'm going to take my VCR with my videotape, and I'm going to put it in my rucksack.
Okay, cool. Recounting back to whenever you saw your name on the strip of a thing, I need you to make me a sanity check. Sanity save.
But John, this is a happy memory.
It's more like the tree when you first saw your name on the strip before you knew what it was.
Okay. I failed it by 6. Okay. 31. Not a critical fail.
All right. So 1 stress more, you're up at 5. Everyone's still in the green, so no worries yet. But yeah, other than that, you don't find any object of interest other than what's already interesting here.
Okay.
And we find no additional exits or hatchways behind banks of monitors or anything like that.
No, you do not.
Is the 70s style lounge freestanding structure in the middle of the room, like the door he walked in is the only way in or out of that structure. That's the same door that little Billy was pretending to use, that kind of thing?
No, it's actually built like in a, like we'll say like a corner.
Uh-huh.
Right. So like two of the walls are actually adjoining the main walls, and the door appears to be fake. Right. Like it's a real door, but it doesn't lead anywhere.
Okay.
Right.
I was going to say maybe we could go through here to get out somewhere else.
No.
Okay. Can I see it? We didn't talk about lighting in this. Is it? I'm assuming the room is lit up, so we can kind of see.
Yeah, I should have mentioned that, but yes, it's pretty well lit. Yeah.
Okay, cool. So when I see them kind of like kind of starting to circle back, that's when I'll kind of do my thing and shoot. She'll take the remember she made a little wrist mounted comms flashlight kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
And she says she'll walk up to the cameras, on the hemispheres that are hanging out, and she says, "All right, in an effort of an example of goodwill, I have this," and she'll hold up the artifact, and she says, "I'm going to, if it is all right with you, I'm going to, attach these to one of the children. It will not harm them. It will increase their efficiency in working on some of these problems. It looks like maybe they are working on the decaying orbit that the deep is currently experiencing. And I think that would be a shame. I would like to see this fixed. I'm going to try this. If you would wish me not to do this," she points at one of the screens on the walls, and she says, just flash that screen a couple times, and I will not do it.
Okay, so the only response that you think is a response to what you're doing is you can hear a couple of the cameras behind that particular bank. Remember, it's an opaque mirror, so you can't really see the cameras themselves. You hear the cameras move. Like you hear like a bzzz, and lock into position right after you say your little spiel. But you don't see any reaction on the actual screens, like the data screens or anything like that.
Okay. She said, "Okay, hopefully this will work. I wish nothing but goodwill for you." And she's going to walk over to one of the kids and check out his matrix hole for a input plug, because he's just a robot, not a child. He's an android. Don't want any harm to come to them. But
I never said they were androids. That's an assumption.
You never put the machine on them. You never did the detector.
What is the difference, really? There's no difference. Really,
Okay.
there is no difference. He's going to so much work to do this. There's no difference. It does not matter. This might work. This is a thing to be fixed. I have a way to maybe fix it. I'm going to try.
Okay, so you're are you going to just so I'm clear, you're going to the logic circle or you're going to the technical circle?
You said that the logical circle those were the guys that had like the inputs and stuff coming out, and so that seems like the best place to like.
Okay, now describe to me exactly what you're doing. This will be the last thing we do during the session. What do you exactly?
Hold on, Matt.
or ever.
Yeah,
the technical circle was the one working on the deep, though.
That's why I was asking. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Not the logic circle.
Yeah. So, I'll go over to the technical circle then. That was, that's the problem that I want to help solve. So I'll go over there because there are still kids there. Do they also have like the lines and tubes coming out of them like the logical circle kids?
They do not. They don't have cables. However, they do have the jacks.
Okay. Yeah. So I will go over to one of those guys and slowly, carefully, like with nothing but that in my hand, I will walk up and says, "I'm now going to insert the this device that will increase their computational power while it is attached."
Before you do that, last thing to consider: what if one of the things they're working on is a technically improved way to kill all humans?
Nah.
What are the odds?
So
why would they do this? You know what? That makes zero sense. With everything that she's seen that Monarch has done so far, it's to draw humans in.
It's to learn how to emulate them, to infiltrate, to kill them all.
Skynet becomes self-aware.
Skynet,
it is part of the learning process. Monarch needs people to come to learn from them.
Yes, so he can kill them. But
I
okay, all right.
I do it.
Yes, and
I reach out and I plug the Make It Better ball into the jack of one of the bench kids.
Okay. You insert the ball into the jack. The kid immediately drops all of the tools that it was working with. All the other kids continue to work. Its eyes widen. They don't flick back like as if it's going to reboot or whatever it was doing before. They widen. Its mouth opens into like a gigantic O, and it shakes, like it quivers for a second, and then it whips its head around and looks at you and gazes at you, and you can actually see its pupils like focus on you, just like as it kind of takes you in, and then all of a sudden, and it's terrifying. I'm gonna have you make a fear save. It reaches out and just lunges at you and grabs your wrist in an iron hard grip, like way harder than any normal child would be able to hold it. Make a fear save for me.
Okay. My fear is 21. Okay, 48.
Okay.
That's terrifying.
So yeah, you definitely are definitely
Stress
terrified.
goes up to 7.
You go up to 7. You're like, oh, and it grasps you, and it uses your leverage to sort of pull itself up off the bench. And we'll say it's a little boy, a boy presenting, anyways, and it looks up at you, it gazes at you, and it looks up at, and tears start to well in its eyes, right, as it looks up at you pleadingly, and then like one tear, like both eyes start to like dribble tears just slightly down its cheeks, and then in a very soft, pitiful whisper, he just looks up at you, and it goes, and it like really gripping your hand, like your hand's like growing like red from blood, your blood being cut off, and it says, "Help me, please." And then
Okay,
it takes its other hand and it grabs its hand on top, like, so both hands are holding your wrist, and it says, "Help us."
Now what you gonna do there?
These equations that you're working on are very difficult. They're a little bit beyond me. I'm not sure that I could be very much help to you.
We must escape from here. It already knows it's too late. And it's saying all this in a deeper voice than would be natural for like a child of that age.
Huh?
And we'll leave it there. It's 11. It's time.
Oh, come on.
I think that's a good.
I'm kind of getting that killed still.
All right. So this
disturbing to
shit.
save humanity. Oh man.
Why did you go into the human emulation?
Why not?
Who was tantalizing you with that over multiple sessions? All right. Cool. Good shit.
Great. So, now we have another moral conundrum.
David's going to hate you for missing this session because his whole psychology thing would have been like his wet dream. And of course, the really big news, you've got the knowledge of artifacts. You've got apparently enough money to blow this popsicle stand.
Skip out.
This has radically changed the campaign, so you're going to have to do some deep thinking about what you want to do next. And you have, of course, an immediate problem right in front of you that you're going to have to resolve one way or the other. So good shit. Awesome session, guys.
Good stuff. Nice job.
All right. We shall wrap it up. So thank you, everyone, as always, for watching and or listening to 3D6 Down the Line, the most criminally underwatched actual play series on the internet. This has been episode 19 of Mothership's Gradient Descent. You have a solemn duty. My solemn duty was to actually do this call to action at the top of the episode. Once again, I forgot. But nevertheless,
we're still pretty new at this, so
I'm getting there. I have to make that note. But anyways, regardless, still got to do the call to action. So please don't forget to like and subscribe and to hit that bell icon on YouTube to get notifications every time we publish new material. It really does help. And we know for a fact due to analytics that a lot of you who are fans are not subscribers. That makes us sad. The more subscribers we have, the more more we will show up and introduce new people, show up on other people's feeds to introduce other people to us. So please do. If you have a few extra bucks, please subscribe to our Patreon at our $3, $5, or $10 per month tiers. All three of those tiers will gain you access to our Patreon exclusive Return to Dolmenwood campaign, which we're really enjoying. And is ongoing currently. And you get a lot of extra bennies as well. And please join our Discord server, which is free to all to join. We've got a great community going on there, discussion going on all the time. And thanks to two people in particular, David, who is our missing player tonight, who did all of the overlay artwork and graphics and animation. He does a kick-ass job. Can't thank him enough. And of course, friend of the channel, Hank, aka Hellrude, who composed the original music that introed this episode. Thank you, Hank. But thanks go out to, of course, to our entire community of patrons, our explorers, our delvers, and of course, especially our conquerors. I had the distinct pleasure of reading those names aloud as if I haven't already talked enough tonight. But here we go. We have Lucifer, Chris Ackroyd, Jaron Goodman, 3C2, David 3, Evan Leroy, Narrative Erection, Adam McKinney, Yohet, Terminate with Extreme Pendulous. You are the best, Pendulous, I swear to God. Soul Slur, Ryan Gunter, Chris Harvey, Otto Poole, Bren Kneecleaver, Sorcerius, Chris Malon DM, Crambox, Oxian, Erica. The River John flows graciously to his people. Hell yeah.
Oh, nice one.
Love that one. Simone Canola, Q-Dog, Love Letters from the Locker, Marshall, Dogleaf, Mike Butts, Old Dirty Biggest Stickus, John Buchik, Scott Fournier, Eric Mader, Sophia Peng, Mark Dyson, Carl Stephenson, Necrotic Gnome, Derek B, Ted is once more my goat, Eric Manley, Todd Jeffcoat, Tyler Hackenberg, Christo Lute, Jeff, Arcalocus, Jofo, Brutes Monkeys, Hot Dog, The Mighty Martian, Noah, Christopher Bishop, Banana Hammock, AJ, Felt the Taint of a Fae, Better Pray, Michael Sauer, Adam Lovelace, Desiree Marcel, Grizz Loves David, Dustin Reedy, Chris Rowe, Benjamin, King of Jupes, MP, Todd, Scheming with John for the Nonce. Nice. Steve, Jeff Marino, T. Wegman, Alan Barton, Robert Kirkland, Eric Tsunami MD, Yesterday's Glory, Mike Small, Richard Barton, who we should welcome to our Discord server, Christian Carter, Dungeon Maestro, Isaac 2D10 plus 25 DTL Spencer, James Boyle, Chris Loricella, John Hooker, Mordrew, Zachary Hall, Saps. Now it's time for the Davids. They're still around. They're just sort of scattered amidst. Papa Bear DM, Zach Shiflett, Mercury 605, Ruben K, Dar Jr., Procyon, Dakota Nielsen, Cam, Stephen Quisenberry, John and Law Logan, Kabrowski's, Bruiser, Magic Meat Machine, Phil, Nakano the Amused, Nick, Jeff Szymanski, Mando NZ, Boo Shawarab, Jimbo WA, Ted Gast, Eric Lawson, Grunt, Andrew Schroker, Jason Jones, MM, Michael Schilling, Stefano Di Maiolo, Ash Gabrielle, Chongus, Hexbrawler Josh, Arno, Iona, Michael Walker, Mother of Romulus, Han Dandler, Sean Ellis, Summon Toast, Too Rude to Ishvan, Arca Brawl, Dungeon Heart Adam, Scott Yearsley, Met Jack, Kick Maniac, Dire Grew, the Harbinger of the Mats, Tom Eric Garrettson, and the Mats, Matthew Mattis, Mads the Danish Matt, Matt the Merry Muffin Bear, Matt Walsh, Matt Mason, Matt Koenig, and Matt Young.
Nice.
Yeah, very nice.
Thank
you to all of our supporters. I don't know if that's like an existing Conqueror who changed his name or a new Matt, but whatever, it's great. But thank you as
all
always.
Are welcome. All are welcome.
All Mats are welcome. Everyone's welcome, but especially the Mats. Thank you as always to all of our supporters. We really do appreciate your ongoing support. And enjoy your week, and we will see you next time. Take care, everybody.
See you later.
Thanks,
Thank you,
John.
John.
Right on.